like 2 years from now. That's what I'm guessing. The production boost is because of.
I was afraid things were going to get worse. I had to do something. I started Cosentix.
3 melty cheeses, 2 crunchy shells, a different way to game day.
Zelda, I think that's pretty much the big reason Zelda's coming out and more people are gonna buy Zelda. So
I kind of wonder if they have if that 2D Mario is an actual thing as well.
They're gonna have some other stuff for the rest of the year, so we don't know when Metroid Prime 4 is coming. We don't know when Pikmin 4 is coming. We don't know, but there's some other stuff coming out for the second half. So I think they'll probably. I mean, we don't know if there's like a new Pokemon Legends or something like that. There could be some Pokemon game. So I think that's the reason why they're anticipating maybe a bit more. But Zelda OLED, that'd be the thing that I would point to and say, yeah, they're gonna do that. That's the biggest reason why.
Could they be anticipating an uptick in sales because of the Mario movie as well?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be factored in.
I think so.
Okay, because I think that's going to be I think that movie's going to do really well, just in general, box office. From what we've seen with just series like Cyberpunk Edge Runner, that revived Cyberpunk completely. The game,
it did, yeah.
And remember the press, all the stuff that was going on back then, and now 100,000 people are playing the game. It's crazy. So you got the Mario movie out there from Illumination. I think that's going to get a lot of people interested in the Switch who maybe didn't even have one, or just Mario in general.
Look at The Last of Us this week, like the TV show that came out. I mean, everyone is talking about it. Like a lot of people saying, I want to play the games. I want to play the games now. Like I never played the games before. So
Yep. I think the game sales it's on the charts. I saw the amount of people buying Last of Us Part 1 jumped up.
Yeah, there was a lot of like TikTok and social media engagement that was showing people were buying the game because they saw the premiere episode on HBO. Sony also put the trial up on PlayStation Store for the remake of Part 1. So this is what we were anticipating with The Last of Us back when they announced it, is that they were doing this because of the TV show, and right now it looks as though it is paying dividends.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen The Witcher all of a sudden had a massive spike in sales for games after that series debuted. So it's proven effective if you have a good product in terms of the media. As long as it's not like Final Fantasy Spirits Within or something, you're probably going to do okay. And that Mario movie has like big blockbuster written all over it, just from the trailers we've seen. And they have their theme park that they've launched in Hollywood. So it's, I feel like all the stuff outside of games is probably going to work to boost Switch sales. That might be another factor. And some games they'd announced, like we just said, a Mario, a Metroid, Zelda. There could be some other things thrown in. I know people were really excited about Pikmin Online. I know that's also not a big series that's going to make it so you have to get the Switch, but it's just more games thrown in there as well.
I keep seeing those rumors about a new Mario game, and I went back and played some Odyssey randomly this week, and I was just having so much fun that I'd kind of forgotten about. So I feel like I'm almost most excited.
It's a smooth game. Even if you go back and play it now, it's real smooth. Like the 60 frames, the platforming, it's great.
Going to a random planet, and then I just put on random costumes that I unlocked and running around all the environments. It looks so good. It really has that Mario 64 vibe. It really makes me go, all right, I'm glad I already bought Fire Emblem. That comes tomorrow. I'm really excited for Zelda. And then it's like, yeah, I think what would really complete this year for me is, man, I really hope we do get a Mario this year.
Yeah, you have that. Maybe you have that Metroid Prime remaster kind of thrown in there as well.
Oh yeah,
I think they're gonna have a few surprises after Zelda, but I don't know if they're gonna have another Zelda in the tank. The only thing that would shock me, and I'd be like, okay, that makes sense why they're doing it, is if they actually had another Mario Kart ready to go. Then I'd be like, all right, that makes sense. In 2024,
I would be shocked if Mario Kart wasn't a like cross-gen or Switch.
That's what I'm thinking. Cross-gen, yeah. That would make sense.
I'd be shocked, but
I mean, Nintendo knows if they wanted to do Mario Kart next year in 2024, they would make a stupid amount of money. So,
has there ever been 2 Mario Kart games on a single?
I mean, we're still waiting for the Mario Kart game for this generation to show up.
Wait, it didn't.
No, but you know,
no, I don't think so.
No, it's usually a single game per generation.
Yeah, just one per generation.
Oh, for some reason I thought 2 came out on the 3DS, but I guess it was just 7.
Mario Kart 7, yeah.
Just 7.
Weird.
Just 7.
And so I'm I'm still like I said, I'm still waiting for this one to show up. So maybe if it's cross-gen, they can claim that it was the Switch one all along or something. It keeps selling really well. I don't know. It's the same effect we're getting with the Switch now. It keeps selling well, so Nintendo can kind of hang on and take their time. And
I have people telling me that it's my fault, and they referenced what you said, John, because I bought my nephew Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I just didn't give him my copy that I have. I bought him another one.
Hey, it's Mario. It's easy. Mario Kart's like the easiest gift ever for everyone likes Mario Kart.
Yeah, I was gonna buy him New Super Mario Bros, but they had it in the back. I was like, just screw it. Give me Mario Kart.
Oh, you wait till that Mario movie comes out. That Mario Kart 8 Deluxe about to take top spot in like the UK or something. Everyone's just gonna be confused.
It was so funny. Yeah, the dude at Target was like, "Oh, you want New Super Mario Bros?" There's one in the back. I was like, "Bro, no, you don't have to do all that. Just get me Mario Kart so I can go."
Dude, I can see them like having some type of limited thing on where they just give free tickets away for every copy of Mario Kart you purchase or something like that.
So that's
happening.
I could see a cross promotion like that. Definitely. Yeah, they run that. But all right, let's get serious here for a minute, because if we have 20 million going into 2024, the end of that fiscal year. Well, it'd be April 2024 is when it starts. I would assume they're not going to have a huge drop off from that. I mean, do they launch the next system holiday 2024, or do we actually go into 2025 where they launch their system?
Who knows, man? Who knows?
I'm kind of thinking we could, because I heard Nate say that, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're talking 2025. And I thought about it, I'm like, if they want to keep that schedule where they don't launch in the holiday, but they launch in the spring or first quarter, I'm like, they would go to 2025.
I'm still thinking 2024. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm thinking about it from the standpoint that they're just going to transition things, just based off of how I felt, how they've spoken at their investor meetings. So I think it's just going to be a transition. If the game comes out on Switch, that's fine. You can just play it on there. I think it's going to use a lot of the same tools and stuff. I don't feel that they're going to change things up dramatically outside of like a few key, gimmicks that they'll have. And that's just kind of how I feel they're just going to transition it. It seems like Furukawa, when was the last time he even spoke? I think the dude just wants everything to just be easy as possible and as normal as possible. Like I said, I haven't heard him. I was looking for footage from him, like speaking. Dude, since like he was shaking that other guy's hand, Kimishima, the last guy. That was the last footage that I've seen of this guy. I think there was like
he doesn't appear in the directs or anything really.
He doesn't appear in directs. Dude's like silent. You know what I'm saying? So I feel that a guy like that isn't trying to do anything. Like, he wants a transition. He wants all the games to be ready, and they can afford that this time. I think with the Wii U, Wii was just doing so bad in the 5th year or so, so they were kind of like, we need to get something out, and I don't think everything was ready. With the Switch, they actually took a little bit of extra time. Like, some people back then, people were saying that it might come out 2016. Heck, I thought it was going to be 2016, but they actually took a little bit more time to get everything ready. So I feel that, they could do 2025, but I feel it's going to be more of 2024, because that's when the games, like, from all.
Do you think they tackle the holiday 2024?
Yeah, I mean, I think they can launch it anytime they want. I mean, honestly, I think the Switch proved that you can just launch it whenever. But I think that the most important thing is the launch lineup of games. Like, I get people talking about like power and all. Like, I'm there with you guys. I want something new too. Like, people make
like Mario Kart.
But I think that you need like stuff to convince other people to buy this system. People that currently buying Switch, they can have a more powerful system. They'll be like, okay, cool. But I need to play something new. So you need to make sure, and not only that, but you need to make sure that you have a consistent flow of games. That's the smart thing to do. Launching it and just saying, oh, well, we have this, that's it. Right. That's what 3DS did. That's what Wii U did. That's a bad idea. You're going to get hardcore gamers to go out there and buy it, but you're not going to get those other people to buy it because they're going to be like, I'm okay with Switch. So I feel that that's the most important thing that they do, is make sure that their launch lineup is ready to go and launch it, and make sure that you have games consecutively. And I think that's what they're going to do. That's just what I feel they're going to do.
I think they're going to drop it summer 2024. I have a feeling that they're going to really focus on their games this year and really try and blow it out. But I think this year we're going to notice them talking less about the Switch. They're going to be really pushing those games, and I feel like we'll see a holiday bundle this year, and then the Zelda OLED, And then I do feel like they're going to clear out all their stock. And then I feel like very early 2024, they're going to come out and do a Switch style reveal. I still feel like that reveal was so good of being like, here's a guy, here's someone playing it, here's people having a rooftop party, even though they probably are intoxicated while playing 1-2 Switch. You know, I don't know. I think that's a good reveal for whatever the next Switch is, to show people playing it. And then, like OJ is dead right. My biggest problem with the Switch when it came out was the fact that it had like 6 games, and I did not give a crap about Bomberman R.
Yeah, that was funny when we went to the Switch. They did like a whole thing where you go out to it and they let you play games and stuff, and you try out things. And they were like, "Hey, let's go try Disgaea." And people were like, "What?" When we get in line for Zelda, like, hold on, you got to try Bomberman R. And it's like, what are you talking about? Everyone just wanted to play Zelda, so they were trying hard. You'd walk around, you could just jump right on the couch and play any of these other games. But
I was excited for Bomberman R, but it wasn't very good.
it was just funny. Everyone was there to play Zelda, and the people, like the handlers, were trying so hard to get people to play anything else. And everyone's like, "Nah, I'm gonna wait for an hour in this line. Thank you, though. I'm good. Here's your Switch cookie." They give you like cookies to play a Switch.
You got to have that big killer app at launch, and then the next month or two have that. They had Mario Kart for the Switch, but like I think Splatoon and ARMS came out after that. So you just have to have that continuation. That's the you can't rely. I know people hate when I say this, but you can't rely on third party like to push a Nintendo system. People already have Xbox and PlayStation.
Third party in a minute with some of these games service. So I kind of agree with some of that.
people, and I know, like I said, people say third party is important. I get that, but that was the Wii situation, you know, and if the games don't play as good as on PS5 and Xbox Series, that's going to be a complaint. So I feel that you can't rely upon third party to push your system if you're Nintendo. Microsoft and Sony,
they're getting Call of Duty though. They're going to get Warzone stuff. So
and that's great, but most people are just going to be like, "Nah, I'm good on PS," because those systems have better online features. They're going to have better graphics. They're going to have better resolution. We all know this already, even with the next system, you know.
But OJ, you can't take it to the bathroom with you. You know. Play.
You can't sit in the bathroom in Warzone and kill people while actually in the bathroom.
Makes Skyrim and The Witcher and all those games so amazing. You can just take it with you.
You're absolutely right, but
I would like to get to the point where we have like the JRPGs and stuff that definitely fit in really well with the Switch's setup with the hybrid nature, and we don't have to worry about, okay, Tales of Rise looks cool, there's no Switch logo, that kind of thing. It's like, oh well, this is definitely on this system, and it's there every time. That's really the only state I'd like to get to. If it doesn't have, to me, if it doesn't have Madden, I don't care as much, that kind of thing. But like Soul Hackers 2, when that pops up, I'm like, I already know it's on the.
Or like Kingdom Hearts 3 back when that came out. Absolutely, I think that's the biggest issue. I agree, because I think all of those developers probably want to put it on there. I don't think every Western developer wants to support Nintendo, in my opinion, to that. Like, I don't think everyone wants to, because they feel that maybe their games won't sell as much, you know, or whatever the case. Just like there's a lot, and I get killed for saying this too. There's a lot of Japanese developers who don't want to support Xbox. They don't want to. Their games don't sell, so you don't see Atelier Ryza. It's more than powerful enough to run Atelier Ryza, right? But it's not on there. You know, so like it's the same thing. Like there's a ton of games. I mean, the Pixel remasters are not on Xbox.
That one was a little like,
they don't want to. Like they don't want to because they don't think it's gonna sell. They don't feel it's worth it. So the same type of thought process can be applied.
That's one I would have cut it. I would have cut the check if I was Microsoft for that on Game Pass. That would have been a cool one to have. But, well, there you go. But
or even like Octopath 2, that's more than power. Obviously, Xbox can run that easy, but it's not on there.
They paid for Octopath 1, got that port completely done, but 2, it's very weird because then 1's not on PlayStation.
Yeah,
it's very strange. The situation's very weird. It's very weird.
And it's like every company too.
Was that MVG?
Sorry, my bad, MVG.
Reminds me of Titanfall, because remember Titanfall was an Xbox exclusive.
Yep.
And then Titanfall 2 was on PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah.
Or even stuff you look at like Persona 5 Strikers. It's like we knew that the deal was coming for Xbox with Persona, or at least they knew. They were probably working out a deal for Persona 3, 4, and 5. But then Strikers, they didn't even bother putting that on. Like they didn't even bother putting that on Xbox at all. And that's a fantastic, sequel to the base Persona 5.
It is a shockingly good sequel.
Yeah, it's shockingly good. In some ways better than Persona 5. Some ways, not every way, but some ways better than Persona 5. So it's just they don't feel like it. Sometimes they don't feel like it. But I agree with you, John. Like I agree that that next system needs to come. I think that everybody, like a lot of people, want that, and I feel it will. I think Nintendo already talked about that. It's coming. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'm curious how they navigate the rest or this fiscal year coming up. Then, if that will indeed be their forecast. The thing is, though, I noticed we won't actually know if this is a correct report from Bloomberg until May. Yeah, because that's when Nintendo would share the forecast for that fiscal year. So
that's what I was trying to tell people. I was like,
first
guys,
week of May.
This is a report. It's not necessarily something that's been confirmed. So let's wait and see.
So we will find out, and we'll also find out if Nintendo can pull off 20 million.
We switched to Liberty Mutual. And
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spawncast, episode 301. I have some pretty fun stuff to talk about tonight. I think OJ will probably pop in randomly as we go along here, but I did assemble actually basically the entire crew for this. So this is going to be fun. We got Max over here on my left. Start from left to right. How we doing, Max, Dreamcast guy?
I'm here to hate on Callisto.
Good. Good. Then we have Jordan Fringe.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Good to have Jordan here. We have Miss Click.
Hi, I'm here.
Miss Click is here. Exciting stuff. We have MVG.
Hello. It's great to be here.
Got RGT. Sean.
Hello.
Sean here. We have Nate the Hate.
I am here.
We got Evan.
Yeah.
And our guest tonight is Randall Thor 19. Rand, how we doing?
Hey, thanks for having me on again. It's been quite a while. It's always good to be on the show, though.
We wanted to have the Xbox event announced that everyone was like basically throwing. Out there as it's probably going to happen in the first 2 months of the year.
Well, maybe you should have waited the 2 weeks and I could have been on here to talk about what they actually showed.
No, maybe we can have you back on after they do their showcase and we can go back over everything. I need Rand here to back me up, all right? Because these Xbox haters on this podcast, all right?
You know, it's funny because whenever RGT makes a video hating about Xbox, there are people that DM me saying RGT's talking smack about Xbox, and I'm just like, whatever, it's fine.
Every week.
I've said plenty of positive things.
Yes, you were quite
there's a little known secret. A little known secret about but I mean I slapped around Pentiment too. A little known secret about RGT is his most played system.
Is my Xbox Series
It's his Xbox Series X, and no one knows that about him. That is his most played system.
Yeah, it is.
It's really funny. But hey, you know what? Been there since the beginning. Excited to see Xbox get rolling again in 2023. So we'll be talking about that Xbox Direct. We'll be talking about Ubisoft because they were in the news for not positive stuff. They kind of seem like they're in actual trouble, like legitimate trouble. Sure. So we'll talk about Ubisoft there, and we do have that the achievements trophy conversation that was going on. Specifically, a developer for achievements, I think it was Mirror's Edge, said that they believe that they were bad for gaming. So I had some questions about that one, and we'll also talk about Callisto Protocol because not looking too good for that one either. And I'm actually shocked at some of the numbers getting thrown around that I have to imagine are incorrect, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We do also have a sponsor tonight. That's Factor. Shout out to Factor. We'll talk more about them later on in the show. Evan, did you want to start us off with a Discord question?
Have you ever played a ROM hack / heavily modded game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. There were Pokemon ones I used to play way back in the day on my PC. That was fun. Like the people would do all kinds of stuff to those.
Yeah, people make new games. This last year I played through multiple Pokemon hacks that are, I mean, they feel like completely new full Pokemon games. They're great.
I guess would you consider a translation where they actually have to go in and change the graphics and different things in the game itself outside just the text? Because sometimes they'll have to do things with speech bubbles and all of that. Would you consider that a substantial ROM hack?
Personally, yeah.
I know they split them up.
It makes it playable.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, because otherwise there was one I used to play way back in the day. It was an old Dragon Ball Z game, and the text was all messed up, and it would go outside the speech bubbles, and it wasn't set up for going from Japanese to English. So I don't know that you got to go in.
It's not a fun one though.
I guess you got to tool around with all the different graphical stuff. It seems like it's almost there, but like I guess they're not changing out like assets or characters or building a whole new game.
The best ones were the No Mercy hacks back in the day. Those were where they would do texture packs and they would have move packs and all that sort of stuff. Back in the day, this is a little known secret. I used to simulate matches of No Mercy with like all the texture packs, and I would be a commentator. I would never show my face on camera, but I would commentate them onto YouTube. That channel's long fucking gone. I wish I could find it.
Wow. Yeah. That's interesting. That's actually a fun concept for a channel, though.
Is it still up? Because we have a lot of people in chat who could probably deep dive that.
I'm pretty sure it's not up.
That's a good. That's a very original idea, actually.
Can you give us a sample of what it sounded like? I'm kind of curious.
No, it's okay. Yeah. Just imagine me doing a Max voice, and that's pretty much what it sounds like. Like the voice for radio.
I'm Max.
The voice for
just
radio.
Doing like, oh man, from the top rope, here he comes, Undertaker.
There you go. There you go. It's perfect.
You have another Discord question for us, Evan?
Which do you prefer, PvP or PvE?
It depends.
Always depends
PvP.
on the mode.
Yeah, depends. I like PvP.
I love PvP.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I get PvE as that fun thing because they throw it into where it's more like an adventure overall. But I don't know, something about just. I mean, absolutely wiping somebody out on the other side and just making them consider quitting or anything like that. That's it right there.
If it's like a ranked reward to where you feel like not only are you doing better against other people, but you're also doing better against yourself in the PvP, sure. But other than that, like, and I'm saying this, like, getting back into WoW too, like, I'm having a lot of fun just doing the PvE, like, Mystic raids and stuff like that with the new stuff. You know what I mean? So I think it depends on, like, how the reward system plays out. But for the most part, yeah, I love PvP.
God, Click's all about World of Warcraft right now.
Man, it's good. It's addicting.
Sean, why did you super chat $50?
That wasn't me.
It wasn't him.
He needs to come back to the after show.
It says RGT85.
Just suck account.
There's no space.
It just says RGT85.
You think I give you money?
I don't think you can. You can't impersonate people online. That doesn't make any sense.
On the internet? Whoa.
Well, shout out to RGT85.
Thank you.
Let's talk about this Xbox Developer Direct. Rand, you guys. I mean, it was basically over. Jez, I know, put it up on Windows Central. You guys had alluded to it quite heavily, by the way, in your own podcast, Xbox 2.
Yeah, we had heard about it literally the night of the Game Awards.
Okay.
That something was in the works for the end of January, and we heard more strongly about it like middle of January, and then Jez got all the info basically that Monday, and I argued with him not to do it. I said, don't you dare leak this. Don't do it because they're going to announce this in 2 days. But Jez decided to leak it. So here we are, right? Well, they announced it 2 days later anyways, but yeah.
Yeah, they put it out there. Apparently, it's going to be just over 40 minutes, I believe is what Aaron Greenberg said on Twitter in a response to a person who was just kind of asking about the duration of it. But they also gave us an outline of the 4 big, I guess you'd say, pillars of the presentation: Elder Scrolls Online, Forza Motorsport, Minecraft Legends, Redfall, which is good because we're just expecting release dates for, well, Elder Scrolls Online's, I guess, some kind of expansion, but Forza, Minecraft Legends, Redfall, are we just expecting release dates for all 3 of those?
I mean, I would hope so.
I would hope so.
Yes.
If we don't get them, there's a problem.
I mean, Jez already put the
Redfall.
Yeah, Jez already has put the date for Redfall out there, which is May 2nd, with early access on the April 28th, I believe. For people, I don't know if it's for people who buy like the more expensive version, but that's supposedly the plan.
I mean, Microsoft's been doing that for a long. I mean, they were doing that like Forza Horizon 3. I remember selling. We had a $100 version that would come into the store, and if you came in, you'd be able to get it 4 days early if you pre-ordered it. So that's been going on for a long time. It wouldn't shock me if there was like a 4-day instead of Friday, it was Tuesday, for example.
Gears 4 and Gears 5 both did that as well, and I did that for both because I'm a Gears fanatic.
Yeah, so like that wouldn't shock me if they went that route, and I'd actually expect it for something like Redfall. And out of these games here, okay, so Minecraft Legends, Forza, Redfall, sure, I'll throw Elder Scrolls in. Which game is everyone most interested in seeing then? We can go around.
Forza.
Forza, okay.
Redfall.
Okay.
Out of those four, Forza.
Yeah.
Redfall.
Something about Redfall. The more I look at it, the more I think Redfall is actually going to be really, really good, and I think it's going to be in a lot of lists of like 2023 surprises. So I'm really curious to see a bunch of that.
Hold on a minute. Everyone just turned around to Redfall. I'm the one over here like, yo, Redfall might be something. It could be good. It's Arcane. All of a sudden, everyone's like...
I was never hating on it. Well, but also they said in that interview like a week ago, and people were talking about it, that it was.
I wasn't hating on it.
Like Far Cry.
Yeah, it's more like Far Cry. So they had that interview, and maybe they talked about it because everyone was thinking it was Left 4 Dead, or it was like Left 4 Dead, which I guess we were thinking it's instance based, where you set up a room, people join in, and then they put you through a mission, and then you go to the next mission, and it sounds like it's going to be more like as they said, Far Cry, a little smaller, I assume, because Far Cry 6 was pretty big. I think it's gonna be that big because they're talking about walking and running to each place.
I think they specifically mentioned Far Cry 2 though.
Okay.
In the interview, so
which is the best one, by the way.
Can you light stuff on fire and watch it spread to things? Because that was awesome.
That was pretty impressive back then. Yeah, Far Cry 2. What are you saying, Click? See, you were saying PvE. This is like right up your alley, right there.
I feel like MMO is a little bit different. Like I played was it Back 4 Blood that just came out? That was the latest thing.
Yeah,
Like,
that one
okay.
was trying to be Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, and it was kind of forgettable.
It was Left 4 Dead, technically.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, it needs memorable aspects to it. You know what I mean? Like, I understand they're giving us pre-existing things to kind of give us an idea. I think now that they've tried to make those analogies, I think now I'm a little bit more interested than before. But I don't know. I need to see something memorable to keep my attention, because otherwise it'll feel like more of the same to me. That's all.
Okay.
I'm hoping Redfall has good AI. Like, that's something that crossed my mind, is I feel like if the enemies are actually smart and have cool abilities and magic, because honestly, I think art style wise, I think it looks good. The island looks great. I just think that, man, if those vampires are as dumb as zombies in Left 4 Dead, I do think it's going to just be like, it's going to become real paint by numbers.
There's very few games that get serious with AI because they want to try to allow everyone to be able to play it. So, I mean,
How was the AI in was it GTFO?
It's GTFO's AI is extremely basic. It's just the fact that you're underwhelmed. I think in some of the first-person shooters I've played, I think Rage was still some of the best AI, since they interacted so much with the world around them to try to fight you. It was one of the first games I saw where someone with a shield would have people run behind him to get into cover behind the characters that moved forward. Like, it was just cool stuff like that.
A lot of confidence in Arcane for this one. I've been thinking about it more and more with what they've turned in with Prey and Dishonored, now moving to this online multiplayer aspect, PvE style. I think they can pull something off here. They talked about Diablo as well, kind of throwing that in there. Like, I guess they want to have loot, character progression, all these different things with it. But Rand, is that, out of these, which one is the one you're most excited for, or to see more about, or even play?
I mean, it's Redfall, because Redfall has kind of had that cloud of Left 4 Dead hanging over it since the reveal. And I think it's kind of an example of poor marketing when you need to come out there and be like, no, it's not that game. It's this other game. So I'm excited to actually... The developer direct is kind of exciting because I want to see more gameplay, because CGI trailers really don't excite anymore. So I'm really looking forward to getting a deep look at the game and having it explained by the developers about what their goals are, what they're trying to accomplish. And I mean, Arcane hasn't had a miss, in my opinion, from the 2 Dishonored games to Prey. I know some people are iffy on Deathloop, but I really enjoyed it.
Deathloop was good.
But I've been looking forward ever since the announcement, and I can't wait. Hopefully, I think the big thing everybody wants, and I know you guys want it on the panel, is you want release dates for all these games.
Yes.
Xbox had a very lackluster, some would say worst first party year in the history of Xbox last year. And they need to, sort of make up for that this year. And what better way to start the year than taking a deep look at their games and being like, by the way, Minecraft Legends is March, Redfall's May, Forza Motorsport's June, and off we go to the races, right?
Well, we're missing something, Rand.
Yeah, where's Starfield?
Starfield was mentioned in this presser as we're going to talk about it at a later date, and that makes sense. You could easily fill up 40 minutes with just Starfield, I'm sure, but it was supposed to be first half. It says right on their website right now, first half of 2023.
Yeah, Nate, where's Starfield? What's up with Starfield, buddy?
What is up with Starfield? That is the million-dollar question.
Tell me MVG and I are right. Tell me this thing's holiday 2023.
What do you, wait. Why did I get excluded from that? Because I've been saying that just as long as MVG has been saying that.
Yeah, but you're the Xbox hater. Everyone figured you were going to say 2025.
To be fair, Sean has been saying it.
That's a weird thing because just earlier this week, MVG said it wasn't going to be holiday 2023. He actually said it would be very likely come out in October, in his opinion. So
2024.
It sounds like you and Sean might be all alone in that holiday release.
No. I was saying that it was not going to be, but before June. I said September, October. Go back and watch the tapes. I've been saying that the whole time. Watch the tapes.
I like November release. That's fine.
Was Halloween not a holiday?
It's the best holiday. So
that's fourth quarter, right? You could say that'd be holiday season for releases.
I would like a Halloween release date. I'm so excited for Starfield. I just want the sooner the better, honestly. As soon as it's ready, fucking mail that bitch out.
Rand, when do you think Starfield's coming out?
I think June at the earliest. At the very, very earliest. But probably if I had to put money down, I would guess September or October.
Okay.
So a lot of people are saying it's going to be in the second half of this year. So why is the message still first half?
No, there's no. So we ran a poll on the Xbox 2 yesterday, and I said, hey, when do you think Starfield's coming? And I said first option was before June 30th. Second option was, July or August. Third option was September, October. Fourth option was November, December. And we had 800 votes, and 60% thought it would release before June 30th. So a lot of people do think it's coming. People have DM'd me and it's like, hey, I'm hearing rumors that Xbox is going to have a Super Bowl ad for Starfield.
That'd be big.
Announcing that the game is releasing 3/23/23. Because apparently Todd loves numbers, right? Which, hey, like Dreamcast guy said, I would want it as soon as possible, but I also want the game as polished as possible. Because I did watch RGT's video about him being concerned about the game. I do think Xbox knows that. No, I actually give it a like. I actually never dislike videos.
I do all the time.
Sean does all the time. That's why I asked that. Because Sean, you'll just hear very quiet. He'd just be like,
because I think Xbox knows that this is the biggest game, biggest new IP release for them since basically the OG Halo. Like there's nothing bigger than Starfield, like new for them, and they know that all eyes are going to be on them. Right over this is like the big Bethesda game. Todd Howard. They can't launch it in a broken state or in a buggy state.
Thank you. That's my point as well.
Yeah, Jez basically has been beating the drum that you delay the game as long as you possibly can, so it comes out as perfect as possible. Because you need to give people an impression that, like this is how we're going to do it. I do think if Bethesda was independent, like if they never were acquired, I think we'd all be playing Starfield already. I don't think they would have delayed it the first time.
I think it would.
Well, we'd be playing it to the best of our ability.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think because we have Game Pass in the mix now, shit has to be rock solid day one, because you're going to lose your audience like very, very quickly if it's a buggy mess. A typical Bethesda game that has a lot of bugs, they have to polish that shit and get ready on Game Pass. So I think even if they weren't acquired by Microsoft, but it was still a day one Game Pass release, I think that'd still be using the same timeline.
I don't think it would have been a day one Game Pass game. I mean,
probably not. It was.
It would have been on PlayStation exclusively for a year.
Yep. Yeah, it would have been a time exclusive.
I got a good feeling about this. Yeah, I'm with it. I got a good feeling about this. Yeah, so let's get it. I'm feeling good vibes.
This is the truck that helps keep families safe. And the truck that helps you get far from home. This is the one more truck owners are switching to. This is what it means to be a Ram.
But the point is, they can't fuck this up. Like, this has to be polished day one. It can't be broken. It can't be Fallout 76. It has to be polished, and that's why I think it's coming out in the second half, because they're taking all the time they need. Like you said, if there's an issue or if the game is still not quite right, then they just go back to the lab and polish it until it's ready.
Yeah. But the thing that people are going to come at Microsoft is they sort of promised it would be out before June. Because of their E3 press conference where they said everything was going to come in a year. So they set themselves up against the wall in the corner. Nobody forced them to do it. They did it to themselves. And people are going to be like, hey, you said it was coming. So if they delay it. You know, people are going to be upset because you delayed it a second time, but
you see, I feel as though it depends on how lengthy the delay is. If this is just a strategic marketing delay due to Redfall coming out later than originally, intended, and they say, we know we're going to get Starfield out in, let's say, September. That's not that significant of a delay. We're only talking a couple of months. It's reasonable. Now, if this game falls all the way to November and we're looking at a full year delay, that's where you have to start. Yeah, that's where questions start coming in of, how did you ever figure that you were going to get this game out in the first half and now it's 6 months late to your original window? That would be bad optics. Yeah. But if we're talking a September window, anytime in the summer, I think that's within that reasonable range.
In that interview with that Todd did a couple weeks ago, he did say they could have released the game on 11/11/22. They easily could have released it. So they probably could have released it in the first half of the year. I mean, I don't know the release date. Maybe my instincts are wrong on this, and it is coming on 3/23/23 with the Super Bowl ad. But I just have a feeling that it's not, because they want it to be as good as it possibly can be. Because first impressions do matter.
I'm just gonna say, like, is it worse that it gets delayed, right? You gotta wait a little bit longer, but then the game runs well. Like, people actually can play it the way it's been advertised, and people enjoy it, and they take away a package. Like, yeah, people might, get concerned about, like, oh, this has been invested in. Where is our result? But at the end of the day, I think at this point, if it ain't a Cyberpunk, I'm okay with the delays. If it ain't a Fallout 76, I'm okay with the delays. So the delay might look bad, but if it comes out after it's been delayed for, Lord knows how long, and it's still not running well, that I think is when the cause for concern comes in. Because then it's like, okay, well, what have you done with this time? And if it's needed this time and it's still not ready, like, what did it look like before? Like, what is the root issue behind it? So I don't know. I don't. Yeah, it's Bugthesda, as Chow was calling it. I like that. I don't know. It's one of those things. Like, I don't care. I'm just gonna assume it's gonna come out the latest as possible. That's just my thing now. As long as it runs well, I don't care.
It was probably gonna launch with a bunch of bugs, but Bethesda is used to, people just view them as, like they say, Bugthesda, to where it's more, people look at it as more endearing almost. It's like, look at my character flying up into the ceiling and doing all this. It's like, it's Bethesda.
This is Game Pass, man. This is Game Pass now. People can just unsubscribe like that if it's a broken game. So. They can't afford to fuck it up.
Yeah, after 76, you don't think that they kind of.
Oh, I think 76 was, that one was really bad. So that might be why they're like, maybe we'll pull it back a little bit here. Well, why put the release date on it though?
Which one?
I think November? That was Todd's decision. That was Todd's decision. He wanted it there.
Yeah, they had confidence that they were going to hit that mark.
And that's the thing, is I felt like Microsoft felt like they were doing a lot of chest pounding to be like, yeah, we didn't have games in 2022, but 2023 is going to